want to introduce somebody who has been a very recent and very important addition to our board. You may remember, I'm sure all of you remember, March 23rd, almost a year ago, Louisville Metro Officer Peter Grignon was shot and killed. Peter was one of our members. Of the families we've helped, he's the only one probably that had ever heard of us. But he was one of our members, and we were able to help his family. And to tell her story is his wife, Rebecca.
Long walk up here. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for the support that you have given me and given the other surviving families. It is an awesome thing to know that 1,200 people stand behind me, ready to help me and assist me with whatever I need. And it is very comforting now that Peter is not here, that I can turn and reach out and someone will be there. And I want to thank you guys. And I would like you guys to give yourselves a hand. I would like our surviving families to be able to thank you. So. You guys are awesome, and don't let anybody tell you any different. I want to tell you about how I first heard about supporting heroes. Peter came home one night because he worked night shift, so he actually came home one morning, and he said that he'd heard of an organization that he wanted to give money to. Well, you know, Peter watched his pennies because cops don't make a lot of money, and for him to be so eager to give money to an organization, for me, was a wonderful thing. So I said, well, what is this organization? What does it do? And he said, well, it helps the families of fallen police, fire, and EMS, and helps take care of them. And I thought to myself, Louisville probably will never need that. We probably won't use it that much. A couple of firefighters, their job seems a little more dangerous sometimes. I thought, but you know, it'll help the outlying, you know, the small towns and stuff. So I said we should do it. And I really never gave it another thought. We signed up to do it, and we went on with our lives. March the 20th, 2005 was our first year wedding anniversary. We went to Gatlinburg, and we had a wonderful time. And we came back, and on March the 22nd, Peter went into work for night shift at midnight. And the next morning at 7:30, I had a knock at the door, and two guys were standing outside, and they asked if they could come in, and I, being a good cop's wife, said no. And I said, my husband's a police officer, you don't need to come in. They said, well, we're your husband's commanders, and Peter's been hurt, we need to come in. So they came in, and I really thought, you know, Peter always wore his vest, so it couldn't be bad. You know, we'd nurse him through it, and it'd be all right. And on the way to the hospital, I was speaking to the chaplain who had come, and I said, I want you to tell me how bad it is. And he said, he's been shot in the head, and we think he's dead. And when I got to the hospital that morning, I never saw Peter again alive. That night when he went to work was the last time that I saw him alive. And as I got in the car to drive home, as my parents drove me home, those thoughts did come through my mind, and I did think I was a bad person for thinking them. I thought, you know, our life is over. I will never have him. I will have to give up our home that we just bought. I will have to give up our puppy that he just bought me in Gatlinburg, because we'd done a cost analysis on that puppy. I knew how much it was going to cost me. And I really did. I felt alone. And obviously my family was here, my police family was here, but I felt like I was going to lose everything. And when I went over to Barb and Don's house to help make funeral arrangements and talk about organ donation, somebody walked up to me, and I believe it was Bill Weedman, and he handed me a check. And I opened the check, and there at the top it said Supporting Heroes. And I knew that even though Peter was gone, he had found a way to look out for me through each and every one of you. And as I went through the funeral and as I went through the months that followed, Supporting Heroes helped me in many, many ways. And I told Eric, I said, you know, Peter had this organization's back, and I want to be a part of this. And he said, well, we'd love to have you on the board. You know, you could come in and whenever you want to, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. And I said I would think about it, and I was honored to be asked. And then on the morning of June the 3rd, I received a call that Deputy Sheriff Roger Lynch had been shot and killed in the same way that Peter had been. And Eric was the one that called me to let me know about it, and I said, I want to go. Let's go. I got to go and talk to her about it. and he tried to get me not to go. He said it was too soon, but I won. And so Peter would tell you I was stubborn, but we went down and met Debbie. And Roger was part of a 7-man department. Peter was part of a 1,300-man department. People that didn't even know my husband were knocked back by his death and grieving for him. Roger's department was 7 men. They hung out with Roger. They went fishing with Roger. They were devastated. And we were able to go in, and Debbie said, you can take over the planning for us, and we assisted the sheriff's department. And I watched in amazement over the next few days as a tribute to a hero was planned. We were able to coordinate all the police, fire, and EMS people that always want to help, but sometimes don't know what to do. And I said, after watching Debbie's story, I said, I want to be a part of this. I want to be on board. And as I've gone through the months, we have met many other families who have become very special friends of mine. And we've helped a lot of people. And a lot of people have helped me, because Debbie helps me as much as I help her, and Brenda and Trish and all the other ladies. We support each other, and it's a wonderful thing. And I'm sure I've forgotten to say something, but I'll come around individually and fill you in. But I just want to thank you guys again for all you do. This is an awesome organization. I'm so excited about this. This is a good thing. This is something that Peter approved of, and Peter was a very careful person. And I think it's a great thing, and I'm so glad that you guys are parts of it, and I hope we can make it grow much, much bigger to help a lot more people.